Dave,
John,
Shane,
Chad,
these sci-fi guys.
Oh, welcome to the Sci-Fi Guys. I am your host, Dave, and with me is all the rest of the gang. Everybody say hello to my little friend.
hello, everybody.
Hello there, my friend.
I don't see anybody in the room with you, Dave. Who am I saying hi to? I need like a name or something.
YouTube land out there, these guys.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you just pulled the worst 3D trick that exists online.
Oh gosh.
If you close one eye, it really looks like it's coming your way, and it's scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thankfully, this movie is not a 3D movie that we are discussing today.
Oh my god.
However, it was the predecessor to a lot of movies that we've already watched. And
We're not doing the Odyssey? Wait a minute, huh? Wait a minute.
What?
We're not doing the Odyssey?
No Odyssey here?
no,
Just kidding.
we're not
Just kidding.
doing the Odyssey.
Just kidding.
I heard that was horrible. I don't
Oh,
know
it was
anything about it.
They were wrong. Whoever you heard that from was wrong.
I want to go see
Well, see,
it.
okay, everybody that said it was horrible said it before the movie came out. Then the movie came
Yeah.
out, and critics and everybody else are like, "No, it's actually pretty good."
It was so good. So good.
The problem is I can't go see it because there's not an IMAX near us.
Fair.
Okay. Sorry, I have no desire to go. Honestly, I don't go to very many movies anymore. I really don't. I mean, I think the last
Whoa.
movie I went to was with you guys. It
Yeah,
was
besides John.
True.
Mandalorian and Grogu. And then the one
Mhm.
before that, Lane and I went to, it was oh gosh, what's the guy went to outer space, he met Rocky, Iraq. Oh gosh.
Hail Mary.
Hail Mary, thank you. Yeah, that one. Good sci-fi movie. Really good sci-fi movie, especially with the garbage that's been coming out the last few years out of Hollywood. That was a good movie. So yeah, that would be
That
one
might be on
that
the list later.
you guys might want to watch. It's on, I think it's on Prime right now.
Yeah, some problem.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's on Prime right now.
Okay.
So more on that later. Maybe we'll discuss that. But this week, today, we're going back to the 70s.
Back
We're-
to
we're-
time, my
we're-
friends.
Where rock and roll and everything was greater.
Spaghetti
than it is now.
westerns.
Spaghetti Western. That's a good one. Spaghetti Western. That's basically what this movie was.
Oh,
This
this
movie-
movie coming on mine.
Wrong. What is going on? Click. There it is.
Back.
Westworld. That is the movie that we are watching today, or watched for this episode. Westworld. This one was filmed was released in 1973. Here's a brief synopsis of the movie. A high-tech resort called Delios allows wealthy guests, I'm talking
Money.
Johnny Manziel, wealthy guests to live out fantasies in 3 simulated worlds populated by lifelike androids. When a spreading computer malfunction disables the park's safety protocols, the robots turn violent, leaving guest Peter Martin to survive a deadly, relentless android pursuit. So that's pretty much what the movie was. Was hold on, who was I'm trying to remember who was it that wrote this, directed it. Gosh, hold on. It's on the tip of my tongue. Michael Crichton. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Jurassic
So
Park author.
did you notice any similarities between Jurassic Park and this movie? Honestly,
Science,
It's family.
desert.
okay, hold on. Where is
Things
where's
going
the
wrong.
where's the
Horribly.
there he is. There, the boot button. There it is.
It's
I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
that wasn't very
Yeah.
nice. That
I'm
wasn't very
kidding.
nice.
Well, he said robots, but no, I mean
Androids.
this movie predestinated. No.
Free.
Right.
Basically, movies took inspiration from this movie.
There we go.
Some very, very obviously Jurassic Park. Very similar. Same writer. Basically, he recycled his own theme park gone wrong type thing, except for now it's raging dinosaurs instead of raging Yul Brynner.
Instead of Android malfunction, you had the disgruntled employee.
Yeah, exactly. Terminator, basically, the emotionless, unkillable Arnold Schwarzenegger, basically is kind of the same thing as the Yul Brynner's gunslinger. The Truman Show. Think about it. Dynamic, omnipresent directors orchestrating and managing every detail of an artificial world from hidden control rooms, rely heavily on mirrors. Basically, that's Westworld. That was pretty much the same story of what happened there. What did you guys think? I know this was a movie from the 70s. None of us had ever seen it before. I went out and I bought this. I bought it on DVD and I wanted to see it because I kept looking at all these lists, and all these lists kept saying, like top 50 sci-fi movies are you must see at some point. And this one kept popping up on multiple ones. And I'm like, okay, I got to go buy this. I got to go buy it and see what it's talking about. So I enjoyed the movie. Well, I don't know. What did you guys think?
I'm going to sum it up with one word, and that's surprise. I didn't know what to expect really going in. I mean, I knew the show Westworld existed, and so I kind of understood the premise going in. I just did not expect it to be as good as it was for the time it came out. And don't get me wrong, they relied heavily on the fact that, like, oh, we're going into Westworld, so we can kind of make this Western world. Like, they didn't make it as futuristic as it could have been, but for the 70s, they did, and it was phenomenal. And practical effects, I'm always a sucker for. And they honestly phenomenal in this one. And honestly, one of the things I think they did best that a lot of movies miss out on, especially nowadays, is explaining things. Just in the sense that, like, even the gun, like, I was like, oh, how are they going to explain it's not going to shoot a human? And then, like, or does it shoot humans? And then they were like, oh, no, here's this very specific moment where we're going to explain how this mechanic works. And then we're going to move on with the movie. And I enjoyed that a lot. So overall, it surprised me in good ways.
I agree. I think they did a great job with it. I too went into this not really knowing what to expect, and when the movie first started, I thought my expectations were too high of it. It really started off a little slow for me, I think, but about halfway through, it picked up and it ran with it throughout the rest of the movie. I thought it did really well. One thing that I thought was really, really cool was the way that Fred Karlin, he was the film composer, the way that he really depicted what was going on in the movie in the film score. If y'all noticed, there really was not a lot of background music and things like that kind of throughout the film. There really was not, until things started going wrong. Then you started hearing more of it. And what was cool was that he actually wrote the music in a very dysfunctional way. A lot of dissonances, a lot of odd rhythms, a lot of uniquely played some of the instruments, things like that. So it sounded like something was malfunctioning, and it added so much to the movie. I was very impressed when it got to about the second half. It picked up, and it really did a great job from there on. The first half was a little slow, but it really picked up from there.
Yeah, I agree. It slow in the beginning, picked up in the half, but what really got me to watching it is I remember watching Westerns with my dad, and we even want to watch Westerns, And this reminds me, and I remember the gunslinger in a lot of the westerns. Like it just, oh, this is just another like a western. Then you come, oh, he's an android, and I love the gunslinger. He's a great actor. Kind of reminds me of Clint Eastwood, all the spaghetti westerns he was in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It did have that feel for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could tell that, you know, I know it was Delios and it was supposed to be 3 separate worlds, but they primarily talked about Westworld, you know.
Mhm.
I can give you all a spoiler, not really a spoiler, but just to know there is a sequel.
All right.
We'll be watching it next year. So, because I
Sure.
have that one also. So it was a sequel to it. So I have no idea. Again, I didn't watch this movie. I don't know what the sequel's about. You know, if it's Jurassic Park 2.0 or whatever. I really don't know. It's called Future World. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, you'd hope that they would learn from all their mistakes on this one. But hey, Jurassic Park came about later on, and we did the same thing over and over again. You know,
You follow the money. Follow the
follow
money.
the money. Yeah, that's what really that's what it was. It was talking about greed. You know, they were like, okay, we're going to build these three cities with robots, and you can do whatever you want.
Whatever.
Basically, as long as you pay for it, you can do, you know. And think about it. This was in the 70s is when it came out. So $1,000 a day, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. All right. You know, then. So I wouldn't dare to try to figure out what it was actually, you know, in today's market. But hey, those of you out there, if you want to if you're watching us and you know how to do it, put it in the comments. Just let us know. All right. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I like Shane said, it started a little slow, but then it just really picked up. They mostly focused again on Westworld. They did throw those other, you know, the other, at least the Roman one, they threw it in there a couple of times. And which was kind of confusing a little bit. I think they would have probably done better if they would have just had one world to do rather than
Yeah.
3.
There's
And I
another
think
one in there.
yeah, but I mean, if you're going to call the name of the movie Westworld, and yet it's really about 3 different things, you know, it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of lost something there. At least the title, you know, I mean, maybe if they would have just called it Delios and something like that, or you know, and then that way they were able to focus on all 3 of them and not have one main actor or whatever. Although I know the guy, I've seen him in so many different things. Peter Martin, Richard Benjamin. I've seen him in so many different things, mostly just as a side character. He's never really usually the lead actor, except for this movie. He was the lead actor, so I thought they did a really good job with him. And of course, his partner, what was his name? John Blaine, who is played by James Brolin. James Brolin, he's been in so many different things with the voice acting and all that. Although the first time I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, it's the guy from the movie we all hated, Megaforce. You know, at first I was like, it's him, it's from Megaforce, and I'm like, no,
oh my
it's
gosh,
that's not it. So I was like, okay, it's not.
Hey Dave.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of factoring as far as the money, since you were wondering about that.
Oh,
$1,000 a day in 1973, factoring for inflation today would be a little over $7,500 a day.
Wow.
Jeez.
Okay.
So nearly $10,000 a day. Closely.
That's pricey. That is extremely pricey. Okay, so that again, you can do whatever you want to. You can go whatever, you know, and I mean the premise was there. What did you? I mean, John mentioned earlier. What did y'all think of the special effects? I mean, remember this is 1973. I thought the blood was obviously way fake.
Oh yeah.
But that's all they knew how to do in the 70s. They really
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I was about to say, the blood is probably my one gripe about special effects, but like you say, that was just the time period.
Yeah. That was a time period. But I mean, other than that, I thought I really was impressed with the hovercraft. Especially when he was flying and it was in his sunglasses, and then you could see what was going on, how they like superimposed. I mean, that was high tech in the 70s. And then of course, when they actually showed like the model landing, the outside view of the model landing, I was like, that's a good, like John says, practical effects. That one looked good. I mean, I thought it really looked, where they didn't have to spend a whole lot of money on that. They could spend it on elsewhere on Western World, actual, the horses running around and all that. And I thought that was pretty funny though, when you walked through the aisle and then you had all the people and they were working on them, and then there was a horse laying there, then a dog was laying there, and just seeing them being worked on. I thought those were pretty humorous.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, went back to the 70s again, and that's the part I guess I have the getting into our next segment is going to be the hardest part for me. Is we're going to go ahead and let me find where the button is. We're going to go ahead and rate this. And to rate this, we're going to rate this on a scale of 0 to 5 lightsabers. And I picked this movie out, and so I get the start. All right. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I really did. I thought, especially considering the 1970s, I thought that the storyline was very plausible. I thought the actors did a good job. I loved Yul Brynner. Said like 2 words in the entire movie, but he just had that look as the gunslinger, I'm actually going to rate this fairly high for me. I think I'm going to go, I'm looking at my other stuff here. I think I'm going to go with a solid 4. It's weird. 2 weeks in a row. I did Tron Legacy as a 4, and I think I'm going to give this
man?
4.
Yeah.
What is happening?
I thought I thought the story, again, we've all mentioned this many, many times. If you tell a good story, you're going to get a good movie. And I thought this was a good story. Granted, it was done in the 70s. It's not Star Wars. This was 3 years before Star Wars ever was released. So it's not designed to be that. It's really designed to be more of, it's a Western that's kind of tied into a sci-fi bow, but it was fun. It was, especially because there was a lot of actors that I noticed. There was Dick Van Patten that I remember from the Partridge Family when I was growing up, and different stuff like that I just like, oh, I remember him. Oh, I know him from something else. Oh, I know him, I guess maybe it's just nostalgia for me, but I'm going to rate it a 4. So
That's fair.
Let's go with Chad. Chad, how about you? Let's go ahead and get your 1 or 2 out of the way. I'm sure you're going to slam this
ball in here. Okay. It would have had a great story. Thing is, would I watch it again? Would I like the practical effects. Don't get me wrong. When the gunslinger, when they had a gunfight, you saw and used blood. Okay. But on that, it was the 70s. I'm going to go middle of the road. I'm not doing a 1. I'm not doing a 0. I'm going to do a 2.5.
That's fair.
I'll say, coming from Chad, that's real fair.
That's fair. Okay, John.
All right, so here we go, guys. We all deserve at least one crazy one we'll stand behind. And honestly, I'll stand behind this film and my rating for this because I just enjoyed this film a lot. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised I enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'm giving it a lot of credit, basically because it was made in the 70s. Now, if this film was made today, yeah, I'd probably be giving it crap. But like for what it was, for the concept, for the story it told, for me, it's a solid 5. And I understand it may not be for other people. I don't really care. It's a 5 for me.
Okay.
Wow, we're all over the place, aren't we? Chad with a 2.5, John with a 5, me with a 4, and Dr. Music. What do you have?
And then there was me.
That's usually my line.
And then there was me.
And also, while you're at it, you also need to go ahead and rate Tron Legacy too.
I will do that next week.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
If I'm being flat out honest, I haven't seen it yet. So each year when we finish our movies, we always look for a movie that surprised us, whether in a good way or a bad way. And this is honestly a contender for that for me in a good way. I didn't have a lot of expectations for the movie, honestly, going into it. And like I said, for about the first half, it met those expectations. But I really enjoyed this movie. It really was captivating. I thought the storyline was beautiful, especially throughout the second half. It was very, very much kept your attention, which I'll be honest is getting more and more difficult to do these days. Shout out to the film composer. Like I said, Fred Karlin did an amazing job with really fitting the dysfunction of the movie within the score. I thought he did an amazing job. So I am actually for the first time in a while, I'm going to agree with Dave, and I'm going to give it a 4 as well.
Wow.
You're not agreeing with Dave. You're just saying you're saying line. 4 to 5.
Oh, I agree with Dave. I agree.
Hey! Shane gave 12 Monkeys a 2.5.
I did
a couple weeks ago, so you can't give him a hard time. I mean,
that's right. Thank you, Dave.
The other way. Let me tell you before we go to the next part of this thing. Those of you out there in YouTube land, I just found it. It is on YouTube. You can actually watch it on YouTube for free. So,
okay.
Which is, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have bought it.
And you gave it a 4, Dave.
Hey, but actually, I do want to go back at it again at some point. I'm interested, because I mean, when you watch it for what we watch it for, and then I want to go back at it and maybe take another deep dive on it, because I mean, I only watched it once throughout this, and there's so many times where you do miss stuff. I mean, I don't honestly, when Shane talks about the music, I'm like, I don't even remember hearing the music, on a lot of these movies. I really don't. I mean, I guess because I'm just enwrapped in what's happening. And
that's what I pay attention to, though. I mean, that's
you pay attention to
thing.
that. I'm paying attention to special effects and plot holes and stuff. The things that
we all have our niches. We all have our niches.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes gave this an 83.
Wow.
All right. IMDb gave this almost a 7, a 6.9 out of 10. So, I mean, it really was rated very high, which that's one reason I was like, wow, and it was a short movie, an hour and 28 minutes, which was, I thought, honestly, I don't think they should have, they could have gone any further. I really don't, I don't think they would have done better. And they also made a TV series out of this. It's actually an HBO series. It's called Westworld. It was produced, or it was released from 2016 to 2022. So it's based sort of on this movie. The robot stuff and the AI stuff is what it's done. Basically, at the intersection of the near future and the reimagined past waits a world in which every human appetite can be indulged without consequence. So, in other words, it's not a theme park. It's just, they just took basically what happened, what you could do on these worlds, and they made it into a series. Okay, let's ask some questions. What moral or ethical questions does the film raise about creation, life, or destiny? I think that's actually a pretty good part about the whole artificial intelligence becoming sentient and robots, becoming life on their own. I mean, this
Mhm.
movie kind of portrays that you know uh, that the robot became alive. I know they called it a glitch in the matrix or whatever. Is how they described it, but everything they did, they couldn't stop it because they were like, okay, it's
Has the Trojan bug.
yeah. I mean, well, and it goes back to what is life. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not gonna. And Chad mentioned a couple weeks ago. He's like, guys, we don't need to beat this AI stuff to a dead horse, and I agree with that. So, but I am going to throw this out there. I mean, at what point do we consider artificial intelligence alive? What point do we consider a robot alive? And I think this movie kind of asks those questions. I don't think we get a good answer because we don't know why it happened. And I would not say that they were alive, but you notice that the gunslinger had a grudge for being killed. So
many times.
Just a little bit.
Well, and you think about, I mean, I do agree with Chad that the AI topic can be kind of beaten to death. But at the same point, I mean, it is honestly one of the major topics of the world right now. John and I actually were having an offline conversation about AI and everything, and about how it can be useful, however also stifling some creativity and thinking. We were having that conversation. And honestly, I mean, we are heavily talking in society right now about a general about general intelligence, super intelligence, moving into things like that. The question is that do we ever really have control? We like to think we do. We like to think that we can structure things in a way to where it's going to work out for our benefit, but that doesn't mean it's always going to work out that way. And I think we jokingly say, like, yeah, look at Jurassic Park, look at Terminator. Well, I mean, let's be honest. We're on that route. Is there really true control? I don't think there is.
Well, if you look at this, the moral of the story is if you had the money and you could spend the money, go and hey, I want to be in the Westerns. I want to go be a gunslinger and go rob banks, go do this, live the life of what I saw as a childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Go spend you saw the moral of the story. If you got the money, you go spend. What you did with it, would you do that in real life?
Mm-hmm.
That's another question you get. Would you do if you went back from this retreat and went back to your home life and you worked, and would you do the same thing you did there in your hometown and in your real life? The answer is going to be it should be no, but that's the moral. That's the free will that we all have in us that God lets us have.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean,
but
that's one thing I do think with this movie is a negative aspect of it is exactly what Chad just was saying, is that, when you're able to do whatever in the heck you want to do with no consequence, what is that going to do to you when you get back to the real world?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to act like? What are you going to do? Are you going to act the same? Are you going to treat others the same way as, there they treated them like, oh, hey, well, I don't need to treat you well because I have no idea, I don't know if you're a robot or a human or what, but hey, this is just a big fantasy, and, do you treat people like that in real life?
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It makes you think. It really does.
Mm-hmm. It does.
And to me, along that same vein, it really makes you consider the question, what do people really consider evil? Because it's like, oh, we've made this machine and you just are tearing it up and we're going to fix it and repair it and send it back out. Is that really evil? And it's like, maybe not that specific act, but your heart behind it sure was. Because if you were in the real world, I mean, your heart's still inclined that way. But I also think this idea of that we keep iterating on of humans just losing control, I think it really often shows how little control we really have over things we think we do. And so there's this bigger idea of evil, and then there's this big idea of, what do we really have control over, and what is evil? And those are hard questions.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I think we definitely thoroughly answered what we wanted to answer out of that. So let's do this. Indeed, we will try to fix this movie or improve it. We call it "Can you fix it?" But it's fix and or improve. You don't have Bob the Builder going, "Can we improve it?" So. So what do you guys think? What can we do to improve this movie? I can tell you one thing is I'd like to change the ending. I would like the gunslinger to have survived and won.
That
And
would be a
gone
plot
out
twist.
into the real world.
Oh,
Yeah, I like that
And
idea.
then
I was thinking that.
then see just see the mayhem that he causes out there. That would be a sequel. I mean, I have no idea what Future World is, but that sounds like that would be a really cool sequel. That at the end it wouldn't be so, oh, this is great, it's awesome, he's the greatest, and then it's boom, that the gunslinger won, and it wasn't him that got all burnt up and all that; it was the other guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be one thing, and then if you're gonna call it Westworld, I wouldn't even mention the other two parks. Use those for make it a trilogy. Make it where Westworld is the first one, then the next one, then the next one, and make this one the third one if you really wanted to. Make the other two, but or you can make this one. This is the first one, but then you see him walking out. Just have the last scene of him pushing the doors open into the real world and walking out. Then the next movie, you're at Roman world or whatever, and then again the last scene is a robot walking out the door, pushing it and opening it and going out. And then the third movie is, I forget what was the third land anyway.
It was
like
medieval, Monty Python type.
Yeah.
All right, here, that gives me what I just said. Make this a Monty Python type movie. I'm sorry, but it has the spaghetti western to it. It already has the feel of it. Make the gritty comebacks with the dry humor that they had. Make it where it has a minimum. To Camelot we go and go out and do something and make it minimum.
Was much rejoicing.
It's just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
This one's
But the thing is, it had it going for it. Put it in there. It would probably, with the story it had, it'll be a great little thing.
it's true.
Yeah, could be.
And speaking of flesh wounds, I think the bigger thing I would like to have seen overall, because y'all, I like your points, but my biggest improvement I think would be the in the special effects department. I would have liked to have seen more of the robot skeleton moving, right? So like when he's literally melting, I think I would have liked to have seen more of the inner workings of him as he's moving. And I know it was tough for that time, but almost
Kind of like
the Terminator,
the Terminator
melted,
did after Arnold's
100%.
skin got pulled off. Yeah.
And I get it was early in special effects history for that, but man, it would have made that so much better.
If he would have gone up to the guy and just ripped the skin off himself.
Because I
And
kept
then
waiting to
put it
see
on.
the
When he
little
turned, I
head.
thought he was going to. when he turned,
Even like a
when he first
mannequin
turned
head on top of a stick that they could have carried around. I mean, something, man. I would have loved to have seen just the effect of that.
Yeah,
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
That really would have been. Anybody else? Yeah,
I'll go down the music route a little bit since John went down the special effects route. I would have liked now, as much as I love what Carlin did with the music, I think he could have started it a little earlier. I would have liked to have seen some of the dysfunction that he wrote in, little snippets of it happening whenever there were the small malfunctions, whenever those things happen. Just give us a little teaser
and make
that something's
and make
coming.
the small malfunctions a little bit more pronounced, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
like you have his head jerk or something, and then you
Yeah.
had the music in the background that would be like,
give us little snippets. Give us little snippets, and then when it goes haywire, when the guy gets shot, then that's when you really carry through with the main theme. But just give us a little bit here and there to kind of let us know that something's coming.
Do you think it should be all the robots or just one?
That's just one.
See, I think go all. If
All
you're going to
in.
do it, go all.
Because then you
Or-
don't. But then you don't
or-
have one one villain. Let's just say
Or you can go even more. You can have one that kind of acts as the I don't
Ringleader?
know what you call it. Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Oh yeah, hey, that'd work. Yeah, there's so
An
many different
army.
ways we can do. Of course, we're looking at something. What is it? It's 70, so it's 30,
10, 20,
40,
30,
50.
40, 50, 60,
53.
53 years
years.
old. A movie that was 53 years old, and it still entertains us. I mean, I think that's the bottom line: is a movie that's 53 years old and that we all rated either middle of the road to high. So we all enjoyed it in some aspects. Again, Hollywood, if you're listening, tell a good story.
Tell a good
And give
story.
us details that don't leave us with plot holes, because they're really, I don't remember very many, if any, plot holes. Because like John said, the whole thing with telling the gun, that was like, I was like, oh, that's gonna be a plot hole. And then they gave us the answer, and then it's like, is that a robot? He's like, does it matter? Oh, hey, that's okay, no plot hole there. All right, and then the sheriff got shot, and then it's like, okay, well, you have to give somebody else a sheriff, and then it just kind of goes on and on and on from there. So keep your plot holes out of it, tell a good story, and give us some pertinent information when we need it, and you got a good thing on your hand.
Well, if you give us plot holes, we're gonna pick your movie apart.
That's right.
Exactly. You're right, Chad. Absolutely. Some of my biggest pet peeves are when we watch a movie and it's got plot holes galore, and then you're just like, really? So anyway, I guess that's it for this show. Anybody got any closing thoughts? Closing arguments?
Mhm.
None, Your Honor?
No, Your Honor.
Was that raising your hand, Shane, or were you just...
No, I was taking the pledge.
Okay,
No, Your Honor.
you were putting your hand on the Bible. Okay.
Right.
I second
Right.
it.
There you go.
Well, everybody out there, we just hope you guys like, subscribe, do all that good fun stuff. Thank you for watching us. We appreciate you guys. And until next time.
Crash and burn.
The Sci-Fi Guys is an independent broadcast that is not affiliated with this movie or TV series. We would love to hear from you. Please contact us by leaving a comment below or by emailing us TheseSciFiGuys@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, or share this podcast with someone else who enjoys science fiction.
Subscribe or be vaporized.